Alright guys, you know what time it is? That's right, it's Rage TV time here with your host Ragey Poo. And we've got a semi-masters headed your way. Bottom left hand side we have IKewl's AeReN with SnpM. Top left hand side we have TheCode with Zephyril. Top right we have Zealous from IKewl and ABYS Vick. And in bottom right we have EZmode's Caps with EZmode Billy. Let's take a look at the units tab real quick. Looks like we actually have 2 Festers out already. Whoa. Very early. And an early Commando. We also have 1 Reaper. Early Stalkers coming out from Zealous. And 3 Reapers coming out from Vick. That's going to be a very strong opening here for the beginning. And I hope the audio sound is crisp, nice and good. I'm usually in a Skype call, so sometimes the audio can be a little bit lower. Let me just lower it just a tad more, because it's still a little bit loud on my end. But it might not be on your end. I'm going to have to test that. I'm going to alt-tab real quick, guys. Be right back. Alright, also get rid of some of the fan noise there. Alright, and if my voice does sound a little bit lower than normal, that's because I did have a little bit of a sickness, I guess you could say. I don't know if it was food poisoning or what, but I was not feeling very good. Starting to feel a lot better, but still kind of recovering from it. So you guys get to have a very, very low voice, Ragey. Hope you like it. I'm going to make sure I'm not double streaming. Looks good. Oh, low voice. Alright. So, a lot of action already shaping up in this match. Looks like a battlecruiser coming out, snipe going down on it. Almost losing the Commando, though. And the Dustwind comes in to pick up some more kills. He's going to back out for now. There's also some back and forth going on from SnpM in the middle against Vicks. Now, with Vicks, his Reapers are doing a really good job picking up a lot of money. But he did just lose one. That's going to cost him a little bit. That's 75 minerals awarded to SnpM. As you can see, his points just shot right up. In fact, I feel like SnpM and AeReN have a very strong opening here with their Infestor play. Still a fairly even matchup right now. No real team is looking too far ahead, except I would say Zealous and Vicks are doing very well, except for losing that Reaper. Let's just take a look at the production tab to see if anything's coming out. Oh, it looks like TheCode deciding to bring out his own Reaper. No, it was just a revive. It looks like Zephyril with the Commando was the surprise. I mean, wow, two Commandos, 2 Festers, a Dustwing. The BC goes down. And who got that BC kill? It looks like AeReN did. Whoa, great job. Nice pickup, and that's just going to shoot SnpM and AeReN even farther. We'll see how Caps and Billy decide to respond to that. And typically, once you lose such a heavy investment as the BC, it can be kind of tough to recover. If anything, I would say going maybe an early Overseer could be an interesting choice to tackle the Commando. It does have a longer range. I believe the Overseer starts off, from what it was said on the forums, with like a 10 range. for its stun, whereas some of the heroes start off with an 8 range for their abilities. So early Overseer is sometimes very, very, very worth it. Plus, your units move a lot faster. As long as you can keep this Duskwing alive, you should be able to recover some of their points, but not all. While the Mando is strong, it's not a heavy-hitting unit for later on in the game. In fact, let's see what level it is. It's level 1. And the sharpshooters... Let's see. Okay, there's 3 attack. So he's going to be switching to a tier 3 unit soon. If not already. Nope. Hasn't switched yet. And very nice pickup. Looks like SnpM lost his Fester there. That's going to be really good pickup from Zephyril. And I like that. And the Commando was killed? Whoa! Nice Commando coming out from Zephyril. And his points just skyrocketed. It looks like the team, though, that's doing overall very evenly would be top right. Bottom left is fighting very closely in about second place. And the reason why I say second place is because they just lost those heroes. So it's going to set them a little bit far behind. Third place would be TheCode and Zephyril. And fourth would be KX and Billy. But remember, in scrim matches, anything can go. I mean, SnpM switching to Stalker. He's going to be trying to fight Zealous. I wouldn't say counter, but try to go toe to toe. With only 1 attack upgrade for each, could definitely happen. It'll be up to the micro. Looks like a force field coming down from that sentry. And force fields are great. It can establish a choke point. It can trap units. Sentry plays very strong opening. The only thing is that there's 2 commandos out on the field. It's a little risky. We'll see how it goes. And there we go, that Infestor is back out on the field. And again, guys, I do apologize for the weird commentary. It's not my usual self. But don't worry, I am recovering. And whoa! As soon as it comes out, wow. Great Mando play. In fact, that it pretty much just pays for the Mando right there. Wow, nice pickup. And it looks like AeReN able to pick off yet another Reaper. And his points are just going up and up. But look, Vick is still not doing that bad himself. And really, bottom right is in a little spot of trouble. With the double sentry, you know, if we saw a mothership, ooh, that'd be the cherry on top. I would love it. A mothership and possibly even a Phoenix. Very strong. Uh-oh. SnpM losing a few Stalkers there. Good thing he had Blink. He has no attack ups on the Stalkers. I thought he had at least 1 attack up, but he did not. There's 1 attack up for the Lancers for Zealous. So right now, top right still has an advantage. Especially after losing that Fester. The Fester is coming back out. There it is. It's just going to set him a little bit farther behind than Zealous is. So you're going to see that his Lancers are a little bit weaker once they decide to come out. That's if he decides to continue going them. And Stalkers are a very strong play, so we'll see. It looks like AeReN deciding to go with an Immortal opening. This is really interesting. Now he has not revived his Commando, and it doesn't look like he even plans on it. Might just be going straight into Immortal. Immortals are very, very strong. And they do have that bonus to heavy and massive. There aren't any heavy or massive units out yet. So they're not going to have a clear advantage over anything in particular. Oh, and it looks like Lancers are considered massive. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that must be... No. Yeah, I thought they were armored mechanical. I wonder why it says armored massive. You know, that might be a little bit of a typo. I'm gonna have to let the devs know about that. Yeah, I knew they weren't a massive unit. And KEPS is just farther and farther behind now that he's lost his Duskwing. Let's just take a look at the APM tab. Now obviously it's time scaled, so it's a little bit higher than what you would see. But at least taking a look at the averages, it looks like Vick has a very even and consistent APM. In fact, SnpM does very well for himself too. Looks like Team 3 overall has the most consistent. Usually higher APM means a better game, but not always. Looks like Billy deciding to come out with his own Immortal as well, and it looks like his 2 Immortals are not quite as strong as the 3 Immortals with Defense Matrix, so Billy should be a little bit careful there. And I'm really surprised that there aren't any Destroyers out, as there are 2 Goliaths on the field, and Destroyers would do very well against the Goliaths. Now, Goliaths do counter Stalkers, technically. I say technically because sometimes a good Lancer player can still kill a Goliath player. So we'll see. Also, there are Infestors out on the field, and that can make a difference. Level 2 coming out for TheCode. And level 1 still for SnpM. This is really interesting, deciding not to level up. We'll see if he decides to level up in later play. He might just be focusing purely on the Lancers right now. And does he have any base ups? He does have... He does have the base up for the Lancers. But so does Zealous. In fact, he got all 3. And I said base up, but I mean merc up. I'm sure regular players know exactly what I'm talking about at home. And this game has been constant action. I don't know if you guys are seeing this at home, but this is very, very constant. In fact, I'll even just get rid of the screen here and just kind of show you everything that's going on. So much back and forth. Top right still being a very, very strong team. In fact, you can see them pulling ahead. Not a whole lot of action going on the bottom. In fact, bottom left and bottom right are kind of focusing each other right now, as KEPS and Billy are a little bit behind, trying to avoid their cross spawn as much as possible, but missing out, I would say. Here we go. They are going to engage Vick, and I think They have a good concave against Vick. They should be able to win it, but Zealous coming around the top now has a superior concave against bottom left. And they are going to win that battle right there. Very nicely done. Vick and Zealous are very, very strong right now. If you look, they're already at 6,000 at the 17-minute mark. And I feel like Billy might be overextending himself a little bit here. KF's trying to come in to deal a little bit of damage. But with Vick's right there, I don't know. Fungal goes down. Meanwhile, there is a lot of back and forth going on between Zealous and TheCode. And look, even with the Fungals going down, they're still so strong. He's going after Goliath too, and these Lancers are just blowing them away. We'll see if there are any base upgrades for Billy. He does have the Merc upgrades, excuse me, but he doesn't have Pew Pew yet. And no gear up coming out from the snipers just yet. And that's to be expected as they're just a little bit behind. Probably can't afford them. It looks like Vix has everything except for the multi-lock weapon system. And I like that decision. The reason why is because nobody went air. There's really no need for it. If you look, it's a 350 mineral investment. It's not a necessary one. Nice corruption. Goes down on the units there, and wow, beautiful play. Top right doing very well. In fact, everyone's having a really hard time keeping up, except for AeReN. And a sentry coming out from Zealous. In fact, I didn't see it, but it seems that bottom right lost both sentries. And that's going to set them really far behind. Look at this. Vix is just able to take on bottom left and bottom right all at the same time because he's just so far ahead in points. 475 hit points, 6 attack Goliaths. Wow. Goliaths are a very, very strong unit. If you're ever unsure of what tier 3 unit to go, Goliath can sometimes be a very, very strong unit. It's very well-rounded. Lancers, on the other hand, okay, they're going to be for a little bit more micro-intensive, probably a bit more aggressive player. You can be aggressive with Goliaths, not saying that you can't. But for the most part, they're a little bit more of a defensive unit. And it looked like the Mando was trying to do something with top left, but was not able to. An EMP went down, and it missed. Meanwhile, there is some back and forth going on from Zealous with SnpM. We'll see if he decides to pop out and put down a fungal. He does. Is it going to be enough, though? Look at that. Not really killing anything. And with a nice concave, I think Vic's going to be able to push back Billy. KEPS might be overextending himself a little bit. I think he's moving in a little bit too much, and then, oh, a fungal. Bottom right is just in so much trouble. That's a lot of snipers to lose. And KF's just got glass cannon. I mean, look, he's at 64 supply. It's going to be tough. Definitely. The way to recover from this, I mean, gosh, I don't even know, guys. I would say probably hero play, but I just don't know what hero that they could go. I was hoping to see some Vortex play, but we just weren't able to see it. As nobody elected to get a mothership. Now, normally I would be casting EU right now, but just as a special request, I decided to do this Semi-Masters. It shouldn't be very long. Semi-Masters is a special kind of broadcast because nobody's really too afraid to get out there and make something happen. As you can see, the action is constantly non-stop. Nice pickup of the Fester. And now bottom left is in a lot of trouble as well. In fact, all sides at this point seem to be at the total mercy of Vick. As Goliath's now at 500 hit points, they're very, very strong. And nobody really has any units to counter, which is a shame. Cracklings, destroyers, they could definitely do a lot of damage to the Goliaths. And destroyers are a solid unit to pick as well. I'm not quite sure if I agree with the sniper play. You know, TheCode is in a lot of trouble as well because he doesn't even have a tier 3 choice. Not even a tier 2 choice. Still looking to go that Fester. It's only level 3. Usually in a regular game, if you decide to go all in on a hero, you should be about ready to morph around this time. 20 or 30 minute mark. Of course, you need the cash for it. As you can see, he's only at 3,700. Needs to be at about 5,007, maybe even 6,000 before he could be around level 7. And again, that's for like total all in. Yeah, those fungals just aren't really doing the job. Barely cutting through the shields. They're just now getting into the yellow. And Vix is going to have really good control of the map. In fact, even K-Up saying, Vick, you're killing us here. And really they are. They're very strong. In fact, even starting to go Marines. That's beautiful. 7 attack. He doesn't have the range. This I disagree with. Instead of getting 7 attack, just get a range. The range makes a big difference. 4.5 is just vastly different from 5.25. Even 6 range is vastly different from 5.25. I mean, you can notice a significant difference. In fact, I feel usually a bigger difference from going full on 6 range rather than just 5.25. But, I mean, that's just me. And, ooh, running his units in a little bit of a miss micro there. Meanwhile, there is some back and forth going on top left. And it looks like the Goliath's trying to make something happen against Zealous. And I think they will. Deciding to push in on the units. And this is where, if you don't see that micro, you'll see the power of Goliath against Lancers. In fact, top left, I would say, has a better chance than bottom left. Simply because he only has 2 attack Lancers. And, I mean, if he can hold his own against 2 armor 7 attack Lancers, he should be okay against bottom left. In fact, I would say Zephyril maybe, I don't know, coming here on the high ground, doing a little bit of damage to SnpM might be the trick. In fact, with the hero there, even EMP the Mando, EMP the Lancers. Overall, Mando is a tricky unit to use. And Zealous taking out the Infestor, and that's just going to be even more problems for top left. Now, the reason why I said I didn't favor snipers earlier on is because they're a slow unit, and the Immortals are a slow unit. So there's just really no mobility in this unit composition. With Destroyers, at least there's a stim of sorts, an overcharge. And that way these units can move quickly. I mean, as you can see, even if KEPS overextends himself, and Billy just takes too long to get there. It's not a matter of, you know, poor micromanagement or awareness, really. It's just the units are slow. He does have the full Merc compound upgrades. And wow, I can't believe Vick is able to take on SnpM, Billy, KEPS. I can't believe he still has any units left. And was he able to kill the Infestor? What? Are you kidding me? He's at 13,000 points right now. Guys, this is the 27-minute mark. We're not even at the 30-minute mark, and he's that high in points. Wow. Looks like a support tower coming out from Vick. And we're going to start seeing some drops here very shortly. In fact, I might say that this game is pretty much over. If anybody can get a drop on Vick, there could be a possibility, but that's a long, long way off, as nobody's really starting the Marine play. Yeah, it's very, very far off. And Billy, I might have to agree. I think it is safe to say. Yep. Looks like bottom right is going to tap out from now. We'll see if the other players decide to follow suit. And SnpM saying, "Sir, be a gentleman. Don't attack bottom right. Just let it expire." And it looks like Vick's response, "I don't care." I'm going straight in. And I can't believe this. Even call downs coming out. A small call down, just for distraction. But it's enough. 2 drops going down to pick up the commando. Wow. And bottom right will soon be eliminated. In fact, Vix might want to move in a little closer. Little closer. Oh, buddy. You can get a little closer. There you go. Alright, guys. This is a good decision, bad decision moment here on Rage TV. You guys have asked for it. Here it is. Good decision, being Vick. That's a good decision. Bad decision, not moving your units closer. As you can see, he was blocking off a good portion of his army. Just moving, just a tinier bit closer to the CCs, just would have ensured that you got the CC kills. I mean, yeah, he did. He ended up getting them, so there was really no danger there, I suppose. But just to avoid chances, move a little bit closer. That way your entire army is attacking the CCs. They are on a time limit. And it looks like a savior coming out from bottom left. SnpM has already used his save. And with that, looks like that's going to be it. Bottom left is going to morph a planetary. They really don't want to bow out, but I mean, at this point, I feel like it's going to be over. There we go. SnpM is attacking the command center. and you can't you can't undo a planetary fortress morph. Just to let you guys know, if you happen to be watching at home and you're a little new to the game and you're watching this just to learn, letting you know that there has been a change log. They've made it to where you cannot cancel the planetary. And if you're unsure why, we actually explained it. I did not, but it was explained during the wildcard games. So please go over to youtube.com/RageSauce if you're not already there, and check it out. I have all replays from the 5 games, and the Invitational will be happening the 8th, this Saturday, so tune in. Now, is he going to be able to snipe off the CC? He did. And SnpM saying, well, shoot, I wasn't able to get it. He was trying to whittle away his own CC for a very long time. And this is interesting. Switching up to crackling. Okay. I dig it. Why not? It's a heavy investment, but at this point, with Vick so far ahead in the game, I think he can afford to switch. Cracklings are going to be great at destroying buildings. They're going to counter Zephyril's Goliath, and, I mean, technically, counter the code. I mean, with the code at a level 5 Fester, there's really not a whole lot he can do. And, that was a nice reversal to get away from that drop, but it just wasn't enough. And Zephyril, I don't think that word means what you think it means. If you're not familiar with Inigo Montoya, I don't think it means what you think it means. It was a terrible impression. But I'm not a Spaniard. In case you guys are wondering what a concave is, say there's some units right here. A concave is going to be the amount of units you can get to surround that army. If you have a bigger concave, you're going to have more units attacking that smaller army. You guys should know what a concave is. And it looks like AeReN fighting to the bitter end. In fact, SnpM trying to get out some Raven play, but it's not going to be enough. The Lancers do blink forward, take out one of the Ravens, and pick off the rest of the units of AeReN. And it's going to be pretty much GG at this point. Now, I don't typically favor a tech switch to cracklings, and here's why. Yeah, they're a faster unit, they're going to spawn quicker, which is great, and they're going to help a lot with the Marine play. For sure, 110%. There are stronger melee units that can help out with Marine. The crackling is a good choice against the Goliath, but he had such strong Goliaths himself, I would have to say an Overseer would have been a great choice to make the army more mobile. He could A-move with his Marines and Goliaths very similarly to what he can now, and deal so much more damage. I mean, that's a lot of money he invested in those Goliaths. Now he had to invest in the Zerglings, the Crackling upgrade. If he happened to get the Crackling upgrades, he did. He got the upgrades. I mean, yeah, he can afford to. I mean, look at his points compared to the other players. Okay, this is a better concave. As you can see, Zealous has a huge concave over AeReN. Should be able to win the engagement. The force fields tried to split up that concave, as you can see. So with this tiny army, and then this big old concave here. And remember, the concave is not about how many units you have. It's really not. It's about how effective you can make those units be. if you have two 50 army supply units, if you have the 50 supply balled up and you have the other 50 supply in a nice long range concave, then you're going to do more damage with that wider army. Deciding to go Banelings. That's funny. Alright, so a 37-minute game, very quick. It probably shouldn't take any more than a few more minutes here, guys. And hopefully they will end it soon. This is always my least favorite part. I love seeing players survive as long as they can. That's great, but sometimes it's a little overboard. It just drags out the game. There we go, though. GG. Well played by Vick and Zealous. Great game. Now, Vick will be playing in the Invitational, so look out. Very, very strong. Alright, your winners here. IKewl, Zealous, and ABYS, Vick. Great game, guys. And I hope you enjoyed watching this on Rage TV. I'm RagePoo, signing out.